Hello, Level 1 students. This video is going to be a reading of a brand new article that was just posted to Newsela on Friday, June 5th, 2020, which at this moment for me is today. And hopefully you'll be watching it and reading along with it soon. This is in the sports section, but to be honest, this is more of a social issue. This is an article that immediately stuck out to me as being important at this time, but I think it's an important topic for any time. Let's start. He's been about this. Why Jaylen Brown, driving 15 hours to protest, is who he is. Jaylen Brown wasn't going to stand for it. He had been signed up for easier classes for his first semester at the University of California, Berkeley. It is called UC Berkeley for short. He didn't want to take easier classes so he could play basketball. He wanted to take classes that challenged him academically and as a person. Challenging academics. Brown plays for the Boston Celtics in the National Basketball Association, NBA. He changed up his schedule his first semester at UC Berkeley and took an African American Studies class with Hardy Fry, a former activist during the Civil Rights Movement. Brown, who was a first-year college student, also wanted to take a class called Theoretical Foundations for the Cultural Studies of Sport and Education with Professor Derek Van Reenen. However, this class was meant for older students. But Brown was determined to take this class. His mother, Michelle Brown, who has a bachelor's degree, raised him and his brother as a single mom while getting her master's degree. His grandmother regularly had him write book reports to keep his mind engaged. Brown was not intimidated by an academic challenge. Jaylen said, "If I wanted to just play basketball, I would have gone to Kentucky. I wanted an education, so I came to Cal." Hashim Ali, a founder of a nearby youth basketball league, said. Ali had recommended the class to Brown. He advocated for himself. Ali also knew basketball legend Isaiah Thomas. They used to work together at a university in Florida. Thomas went to UC Berkeley too. He had taken the same class Brown wanted to get into. With the support of Ali and Thomas, Brown got the school to approve him taking the class. Brown became the first freshman to take that graduate course. Jaylen is a fourth-generation college student within his family structure, his mother said. Going to college and getting an education was the family protocol and my focus in raising my children. I'm proud that Jaylen is using his platform to speak out about the injustice and inequality in this world. Standing with community for justice. For many Americans, it might not feel like much is right in the world. But for the people who really know Jaylen Brown, seeing him stand with the people and amplifying the cries for justice, perhaps nothing felt more right. The nation got to see Jaylen Brown, the activist, on May 30th. And for most of the sports world, this was a revelatory moment. At 6 feet, 7 inches tall, he was hard to miss, especially with the megaphone to his mouth and sign in his hand reading, "I can't breathe." He was standing alongside Indiana Pacers player Malcolm Brogdon. Brown is from Marietta, Georgia. He drove 15 hours from Boston, Massachusetts to Atlanta, Georgia to be with his people as they protested injustice in honor of George Floyd. Floyd was an unarmed Black man who died after a Minneapolis, Minnesota police officer held his knee on Floyd's neck. And Brown did not go to soak up the vibe or witness history. He went because this is who he is. He discussed it with his family and called mentors for advice and tips. He organized a march via social media. He led the chants. He called for justice and influenced peace. In doing this, Brown provided hope and warmth in these difficult times. This is a moment. We have leverage right now. We have a moment in time, Brogdon told fellow protesters. We've got to keep pushing forward. Jaylen has led this charge, man, and I am proud of him. We need more leaders. Inspired by social justice from a young age. Brown loves UC Berkeley because of the emphasis on free speech and the protest spirit. During his time there, he debated with scholars. He would walk through Berkeley, California, inhaling in the city's history, knowing the Black Panthers organized there and Vietnam War protests took place there. The Black Panthers was a political organization founded in 1966 to challenge police brutality against the African American community. When he was younger, Jaylen, his mother, and his brother would make sandwiches for and give them to people living on the streets in Atlanta. They gave away toys to less fortunate kids on holidays. His mom taught him that all people deserve respect and humane treatment. That is why he did not hesitate to join the protests in Atlanta. They were raised to be independent thinkers and to be passionate about what they believed in, Michelle Brown said. As a parent, you want your children to not only grow up to be good people, but to also do good in the world. Brown kept up with the work in that graduate course, despite being the youngest person there. The class thoroughly examines sports and culture. It looks at them through the lenses of race, gender, class, and ability. It has the potential to turn some away from sports. However, Brown was intrigued, even when he was disturbed. Public scholar. At just 23 years old, Brown is now a vice president of the NBA's Players Association, which represents players within the league. I think of Jaylen as a public scholar, Van Reenen said. It's a responsibility some want to take on and others don't. And some are better equipped to take it on and others aren't. Jaylen has both. He has the responsibility. He feels that in his core, and he has the ability to articulate and make use of his platform. When Brown was declaring for the NBA draft in 2016, he held a news conference at UC Berkeley and invited young students, educators, and activists. One of the young students asked him, "What are you going to do for the people? What are you going to do for us?" Jaylen told him he would be a voice for them, Ali recalled. The kid said, "I'm going to hold you to that." And Jaylen gave him his word. Then when Jaylen got drafted, he sent a bunch of Adidas shoes to the young students at school, to the young students' school. He's still young, Ali said. He's still learning. But he's an avid learner. He's been advocating for his generation. He's been protesting injustice. He's been about this. And what he did in Atlanta established him as the leader we all knew he was. Marcus Thompson II is a lead columnist at The Athletic. He is a prominent voice in the Bay Area sports scene after 18 years with Bay Area News Group, including 10 seasons covering the Warriors and 4 as a columnist. He is also the author of the best-selling biography, Golden, The Miraculous Rise of Steph Curry. This last section is about the author of this article, Marcus Thompson II. So please read along with your digital copy that I'm going to put on our Google Classroom. And please try the activity for reading comprehension, or this 4-question quiz that was also going to be posted on our Google Classroom. I hope that you found this article as interesting and as important as I did.